What if one day, the sun never rose again? The world would still look the same for a while, buildings standing tall, oceans still whispering, but everything would begin to fade. The clocks would keep ticking, but no one would know what hour it is. Because without day, time itself would stop meaning anything. Children would wake up in darkness. No birds outside their windows. No golden warmth through curtains. Just the hum of the dark, heavy, endless, and still. Life in eternal night days would turn into a blur. People would carry flashlights instead of smiles. Shops would open under artificial bulbs, streets lit by cold neon, but still, something would feel missing. Without daylight, the air would grow colder. The trees would stop breathing fully. Flowers would wilt, confused, because they were made to follow the sun. And so were we. We'd start seeing how much we needed it, not just for sight, but for soul. The absence of day would turn us quiet. Maybe we'd begin to listen more, to our thoughts, to our regrets, to what we lost. The weight of darkness soon, the darkness would stop being around us. It would start living in us. Our laughter would sound weaker, our hearts heavier. We'd scroll through old pictures, sunrises, beaches, sunny picnics, and wonder how we ever took them for granted. Some would lose hope. Others would fight harder to create their own light. People would hang lanterns outside their homes, paint glowing murals, burn candles together in the streets, just to remember what brightness felt like. The human light, then something strange would happen. Amid the darkness, some faces would still shine. Not because of the sun, but because of kindness. Someone offering food to a stranger. Someone holding another's hand through fear. Someone whispering, "It's going to be okay," and in that moment, we'd realize, light was never gone. It just changed where it lived. Not in the sky, but in us. Memory of the sun. Maybe one night, someone would climb the highest mountain and scream into the black sky, asking the sun to return. But the echo would come back empty. And they'd sit there, realizing that even if the sun never rose again, the warmth it gave still burns inside. Because day wasn't about the light we saw, it was about the hope it brought. And hope doesn't need the sun to shine. The return after endless nights, a faint glow would appear on the horizon. Barely visible. Soft. But real. The world would pause, every face turning toward that one sliver of light. Tears. Smiles. Silence. The first sunrise after forever. And in that light, we'd finally understand. The day doesn't return for those who wait, it returns for those who believe it still can. Reflection. If there was no day in our life, we would have never learned how much light matters. We would have never learned gratitude, patience, or the meaning of hope. We would have never realized that every sunrise is an invitation to begin again. So maybe this story was never about losing the day, but about finding ourselves when it's gone. The final message. Because no night lasts forever. And no darkness, not even the one inside you, is strong enough to silence the light that lives in your heart. We don't wait for the sun. We become it. Imagine if there was no day in our life. No sunrise to warm our faces, no golden light to remind us that a new beginning has come. The world would live in endless night, and maybe our hearts too would forget how to glow. Without day, we would forget the true colors of life. We would forget how it feels when sunlight touches our skin, when mornings whisper hope into our ears. The birds would stop singing, the flowers would stop blooming, and even time would lose its meaning. We would start remembering what we once ignored, The mornings we wasted, the afternoons we rushed through, the people we didn't notice. Daylight was not just light, it was forgiveness, it was a chance to start again. In the darkness, our fears would grow louder. The shadows would no longer stay outside, they would live inside us. Without the day, we would begin to lose sight not of the world, but of ourselves. And then, one quiet moment, a faint light would return. A single ray, breaking through the darkness, touching the world with warmth again. We would look up, with tears in our eyes, realizing that the day was never just sunlight. It was hope. It was life. It was the promise that no night lasts forever. If there was no day in our life, we would learn the truth, that the real light doesn't come from the sky, but from within us. Every kind act, every dream we refuse to give up, every smile we share, that is our sunrise. Because the day always returns, even within us.